I am optimistic, positive, and excited about chiropractic. Excited about reaching people with my practice and building an exceptional life, an exceptional practice by being productive, seeking prosperity, and being generous while filled with love, fitness, and fun. My purpose is to become smarter, to know more, to know better things, to install better methods, to think at a higher level, to learn. Continuous learning really is the secret. To become more powerful, to become more capable with a variety of patients in a variety of situations in and out of the office. Capability. The best athletes are the ones that are the most capable, aren't they? The best pilots are the ones that are most capable, especially in situations that demand their best. We must be driven to become superior versions of ourselves by always increasing our awareness of what's going on around us, what's going on with patients, what's going on with staff, what's going on with the environment, what's going on money-wise, what's going on health-wise, what's going on in all the different areas that are important and necessary in your life. Our purpose is to increase our knowledge and our understanding, always being motivated, improving our hands-on skill. Quick story. Had one of our high performer members visit another Winner's Edge member to get adjusted. I said, "How did it go?" He says, "It was horrible." And the chiropractor he saw wonders why he can't grow. Analysis was overdone for no reason. Lumbar felt like a student was working on him. Thoracic was sort of okay. Cervical, it felt like a student was working on him. When you work on people, do you feel like you're a student? How do you know? Doesn't matter if you think you're good. What you think about your care means nothing. What I think about my artwork means nothing if I'm an artist, right? All that matters is what people want to pay for it and how many people want to pay for it. That really is the truth. It's such an interesting phenomenon. Chiropractors arguing for their technique, saying, well, I do this and those other people don't do it the way I do it. Yeah, but they have twice as much volume and have twice as many referrals as you. So who's really better? Yeah, but they don't do it this way. It doesn't matter. 4 times as many people go there and they collect 4 times as much as you. That must mean that their technique is 4 times better, 4 times more liked, 4 times more effective, 4 times more accepted by the public than yours, right? Our grades are seen on our stat sheet by referrals, by volume, by collections. So we're always working to build our hands-on skill, our communication skill, and our mastery in the art of exceptional living. And of course, every time you train with me, Tory the chiropractor first, never bailed out. Got my chiropractic equipment. It's about 10 feet from me right now. The problem is when you have 24 hours in a day, 16 waking hours, you cannot be a full-on chiropractor and full-on consultant simultaneously. They are mutually exclusive because they both consume all the moments of your day if you want to be the best. Or seek your highest level of service. When you train with me, you are right now you're naturally attracting, right? More great new patients. You're becoming more capable at motivating and persuading people. You're empowered right now to make smarter long-term decisions for your practice, for your team, for yourself, for your health, for your money. And of course, you're energized. Yes, physically, mentally, and financially. Check this out. There are all kinds of great things about chiropractic. And there are some problems, but the problems are not with chiropractic. Chiropractic just is. The biological, physiological, anatomical foundation of chiropractic is very awesome. It is basically anatomy in action. And using skill and technique on the anatomy, because we know that there is a neurological power running the body. See, chiropractic is fine. The chiropractic principles are fine. All the problems in chiropractic are with the chiropractors, are with the people. It's kind of like the world, the earth. The earth, nature is fine. The leaves change colors in the fall, and then we have winter and the cycle of life, and everything grows and replaces itself, and it's the earth is absolutely fine. It does not need us at all. People are the only problem on earth. Really think about it. We're like viruses on the earth. We screw up everything we touch. We screw up nature, we screw up the oceans, we screw up the lakes and rivers, we screw up everything. The people run around with their khaki pants and their beards and their glasses, all biology and all anthropology and all science-y, and, well, they know what's best for the forest, or they know what's best for the lakes, or they know what's best for this particular ecological system somewhere. And, of course, it just gets screwed up and it's a disaster. I was just out in Glacier Park, Montana. There used to be all these bald eagles, but of course now there's no bald eagles because somehow the smart people goofed up the river, and now there's no shrimp, and so there's no whatever fish eating the shrimp, so now there's no eagles, okay? And of course then that screws up the wolves, which screws up the bears, which screws up the bumblebees. We screw up everything we touch. I see people fiddling around with sharks can't we just leave the animals alone? It's unbelievable. Can't we just leave them alone? They don't need us. Mother Earth is fine. And if the earth just got rid of us, it would just fix itself. That's like chiropractic. It's like the innate intelligence of the body. We're talking about the universal intelligence of Earth and all the living systems, but also encapsulated in the human body, we have an innate intelligence, and it is fine. It is fine. So the problems in chiropractic are all because of chiropractors. Oh, Tory, did you hear what so-and-so said about chiropractic? Well, I don't blame them, because look what chiropractors are doing. Look what chiropractors are posting. Look what chiropractors say. But the chiropractic principle remains solid, and that's what we want to stay close to. Check this out quick. If you go to a medical doctor, what are the chances that they're going to tell you the truth, or what they believe to be true based on their analysis? Are they scared to tell people the truth? Or are they too weak to actually let people know what the problem is? Or do they just lay it out? You have this, and I'm afraid it's terminal. I'm sorry. And then they walk away and go have lunch. How many times have you ever heard that the medical doctor said it was the worst one they'd ever seen? You hear it all the time. How about the medical doctor talking about what fees are? They probably don't even know what the fees are, and they don't care. If it costs $75,000, they don't care. They tell you what they think, and they could care less about what the fees are. They could care less what you think is expensive. They don't care. Their job is to analyze and lay it out, period. Same with the dentist. Does the dentist ever tell you you only need one filling because they're afraid to tell you that you need 3 because you might not accept it and you might think it's expensive and not like them? Heck no. The dentist says, you got this, and they'll tell you what it costs. right? Go to a plastic surgeon. Ask them if their opinion on a service. Let's say you got some deviated septum or something from things that happened growing up. You want to get it worked on. They say, yeah, $15,000. You want it or not? They're not like, maybe if you want to make payments. They don't care. They just lay it out. And then there's you. Then there's the chiropractor. Sugarcoating everything, watering down everything, afraid of everybody. It's unbelievable. And of course, it's the fault of the profession and the fault of schools and who knows what else that breeds this. See, remember now, there's only 4 problems in chiropractic. It's laziness, weakness, which we're talking about now, cheapness, which ties into this, and then just flat out being foolish or being stupid. So the profession is weak. The profession of chiropractic is very weak and very poor and has very low power. Look at the medical profession. I bet their net worth is $1 trillion. The net worth of the chiropractic profession, I bet, is 0. There's as much debt as there is affluence. I bet the net worth of the chiropractic profession is nothing. But yet, if you were to look at the net worth of the entire medical profession, it's probably $1 trillion, certainly in the billions. What schools teach. So you got weak people, and you got weak people teaching weak people, making them weaker. Weak plus weak equals weaker. So what we're doing here is this is truth bombing. See, a lot of times chiropractors want lots of sugarcoating. Tell me I'm good. Tell me everything's going to be great. Okay? Well, chiropractic is good, and chiropractic is great. I don't know about you. I don't know where I find you as you listen to me here today. Of course, I'm glad you're here. I'm always glad you're here. Some of you out there are doing well. We have chiropractors now collecting $100,000 a month in less than 1 year out of school, using our systems and our procedures and our mindset and our stuff that's not lazy, not weak, not cheap, and certainly not stupid. And that's just the beginning. That's the start. $100,000 a month for one chiropractor in one office. That is a good start. That is the foundation from which to grow from by serving people. So despite chiropractic being awesome, we have this weak profession, weak teaching, weak initial care plan recommendations, weak financial recommendations, weak recommendations on what to do in the future, weak recommendations for family, weak recommendations for everything, because the chiropractor is afraid that people may not like me and pat me on the head if I actually tell them the truth. And the real problem is the chiropractor doesn't know the truth. Unbelievable. Where would they have learned it? Do the schools know the truth? What do people really need? If you take 20 people to the dentist, 20 people go to the dentist. Let's say 20 people go to 10 different dentists. What are the odds that every single dentist will find the cavities? It's like 100%. Every single dentist will find the cavities in every single person's mouth. And they'll say, hey, you need to get these fixed and it costs this. Let's take 20 people and send them to a bunch of different chiropractors. Now what happens? Everybody finds something different. Everybody has all of these recommendation ranges from, let's just work on it a couple times and see how it goes, to a 1-year, quote, corrective care plan, which is hilarious because chiropractors don't correct anything ever. The human body's dynamic and changing. Nothing is corrected ever. If you take a metal plate and you weld it and bolt it onto a bridge, that is going to be there for near eternity. But you do something to a human spine, it is shot almost immediately because the spine is moving. It is in a continuous state of need of repair. Your spine is getting worse every single day of your life until you die. Your hair is getting worse. Your skin is getting worse. Your teeth are getting worse. Every single thing is deteriorating. We don't correct anything. All we do at best is slow the deterioration process. That is the biological reality, and you know it's true. Where the word correct came into chiropractic is just a mystery. If you correct something, that means you can stop doing it and walk away for a year and it stays the same. That's correct. Okay? Horrible. Man. Once again, chiropractors screwing up chiropractic with horrible terms that don't mean anything and do not reflect the anatomical, physiological, and biological truth. So here we're at the chiropractor, and every chiropractor is all over the place with what they recommend and what they want to do. See, it's the blessing and the curse. It's the beauty of the art of chiropractic. But in there must be some science, something that's repeatable and demonstrable and makes physiological sense. So here's the picture I'm painting. We have this inferiority thing in chiropractic where chiropractors like afraid to tell people the truth because chiropractors really don't know what the truth is for what people actually need and why. And then they don't know what to do about it for plans. And then they don't know what to do for any wellness plans so people can benefit from care forever. So you go into any single chiropractor office and really they have no idea what they're selling. They don't know what they're offering, why they're offering it, what they really should be offering, and then how to offer something for people to enjoy chiropractic care forever. It's this wing it fest, and there's no need for that. There is a better way. It just happens that it takes calculating about 120 numbers mathematically perfectly to do it. I actually think, Indy the Doberman wanted to come in and say hi. Good morning, Indy the Doberman. He wants me to run around and chase him right now, but I've got to finish this podcast. Were you going to make a cameo appearance today? So here's where I'm leading this particular training. I'm laying out the problem, and then I want to come in with the angle toward the solution. So look in chiropractic offices today. Volume, not impressive. Collections, not impressive. Student loans getting paid off quickly, it's a disaster, a profession-wide. Wealth of chiropractors, hardly anybody has any because they don't know what to do. And if you haven't been a Winner's Edge member, you really don't have any idea what to do with money. It would be a miracle. You would have had to have a family member or somebody teach you. We've got a lot of this down to a science. Once again, like you hear me say, and there's no other way to say it. Every single chiropractor should be in Winner's Edge for at least a few years after they graduate, if not their entire career. Every single one. To learn just the foundational principles of how to be a successful small business owner and practicing chiropractor, and the foundational teaching of how to deal with people, how to have plans, how to lay out fees, how to have employees, how to pay off loans, how to do payroll, how to do accounting, how to get rid of student loans, how to accumulate for the future, how to have the right layout. There's just all this basic stuff. And basically, only we have it. There are good people out there in the consulting world. There are good people. But it's very simple. Nobody has what we have readily available for you for reasonable money. You got to get it while it's hot. Won't be around forever. Oh, probably will because it's in video form. We never wait to become more successful. All right, let's move on. Next points here. Hang with me. I'll bring this around, don't you worry. What is your new patient plan for number of visits and time? Why is it that? What is it? Work on it for a couple weeks and see how it goes? See if you can help out the symptoms a little bit? 12 months of corrective care? What is your initial plan? Well, it varies for every patient. Why? Human adults are basically all the same. There's very little variation. What I need and what you need and what some 50-year-old guy needs and some 40-year-old lady, as far as the time and frequency of visits, really, when you think about it, and actually do think about it, it's pretty much all the same with minor variations. Is what you recommend what's biologically, physiologically, and anatomically correct? Is that really what that human being, is that really what their spine needs? Is what you're telling the patient they need actually what their spine needs? Think about that. If the dentist tells you what you need, they're telling you what the tooth needs. That tooth needs a crown. Period. That's what it needs. In other words, so that's what you need. So what does the spine need? Now, the problem in chiropractic is you can't see the spine like you can see teeth. It's hidden under skin. That's part of the problem. If you had a little window and you could open up the skin and look at some people's low back, you would see this rotting, decaying mess. You might change your recommendation then. But since it's hidden under skin and there's a human being in front of you and you want to try to be nice to them and get them to like you and start care, okay, then all of a sudden you tell them one thing, but what their spine actually needs is something else. So what I'm always promoting is that we tell people what their spine actually needs. And we do it in such a way that we can get them to start care. Then we can earn their trust through chiropractic awesomeness, and then through the Winner's Edge re-sign process into the Winner's Edge wellness plans of mathematical awesomeness and perfection, we can get people to continue care and enjoy and benefit from chiropractic forever. You see the big disconnects in chiropractic. Not sure what to say to people to get them to start, not really sure what to recommend, not sure what to charge. Not sure what to say on every visit, not sure how to get people to continue care, not sure how to charge for it. There's those problems. We have all of those solved to mathematical and streamlined perfection. Exactly what to say, exactly what the plans should be, exactly how to charge for it, exactly what to say on office visits, the exact process to get people into a wellness plan, the exact wellness plans that are all mathematically perfect to give basically everybody a chance to benefit from chiropractic care forever. It's unbelievable. I'd like to see you use it. Skyrocket your practice in about 30 days. And if you're a student, of course, if you're within a year of graduation, you need to join immediately. It is an emergency. Nobody waits until a year before the Olympics to start training for the Olympics. They started training 4 years ago. In fact, they've been training their whole life. And you're talking about not a 3-minute and 20-second gymnastics routine. You're talking about you're preparing for a multi-decade career. We've got people that want to join before they even go to chiropractic college. How smart is that? I do tell them to wait until they're in chiropractic college, and then they can join under our startup program. What do people really need? What does a new patient really need as an adult, and why? If you're in a courtroom, could you explain why? How great do you think chiropractic is? Are you telling people the truth? Will you admit if you're not telling them the truth? What is the truth? Do you know what the truth is? Does technique really matter? As far as what recommendations and the physiological, biological, and anatomical healing time of tissue? You have ligaments, tendons, muscles, bones, and nerves. And if someone walks in your office, one, a few, or all of those are damaged. That is the problem. If I hit my thumb with a hammer, I have just damaged ligaments, tendons, muscles, possibly bones, and nerves. The tissue cells are damaged. And to the degree that the tissue cells are damaged will determine the healing time and how much care is required, right? If my whole hand is smashed, there's more tissue cells damaged that will need to be replaced from the food I eat and the water I drink, right? If someone feels pain, it's because tissue cells are damaged and they are sending a signal for help. It's our job to help them. We are treating the person's spine. And we must give recommendations that are accurate for the requirements of that spine. The truth resonates. But because chiropractors are weak and have been so weak for so long, they screw people up. And then when they finally come into someone who makes a quality recommendation, that you hear, well, my last chiropractor said I only needed to get it worked on a couple times. Yeah, well, your last chiropractor lied to you because they were lazy, weak, cheap, and stupid. And they screwed you up. And now I got to try to fix your head as well as fix your spine. And it's going to be an uphill battle because you want to believe you can just get worked on once or twice for a problem you've had for decades. And so it's very difficult to overcome if some, quote, doctor validated that notion. So here chiropractors once again sit trying to make up for the problems that chiropractors cause for other chiropractors. But that's okay, we can do it. What's biologically true, what is physiologically true, what is anatomically true. It's not an on-off switch. You make an adjustment, they stand up, I still feel it. Well, all the tissue cells are still damaged, aren't they? Just because when you put stitches in a cut, is the cut healed in 5 seconds? Listen carefully. The healing starts after the adjustments are given. The problem and what people feel are two completely different things. It's better today. No, it is the same. You may feel better, but I'm not here to change how you feel. If I focus on the problem, you will definitely feel better. So we have to understand that chiropractic is a breakdown and build-up process, no different than training muscle. We break down and build up. So it's boom, 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 boom with adjustments. Stimulating tissue, improving mobility, causing an insult in the area which engages a physiological healing response. Cause and effect are created. Bringing attention to the area. Possibly improving the circulation to the area, stimulating nerve flow in the area, stimulating tissue healing in the area. But all those tissue cells have to be replaced with new ones. Just like your muscle cells have to be replaced with new ones as you train and work out. And by the way, once again, does that mean I'm correcting a weakness? We're going to do a bunch of bench press. We have a corrective training program for your workouts. Does that mean I'm just going to get my bench press up to 300 pounds and it'll be corrected now and it'll just stay at 300 pounds without having to train? No, because we don't correct anything. We get it as much better as we can, and we must keep it there because the body is in a continuous state of need from everyday normal activities, let alone all the stresses that we have to endure. So our plan has to accommodate the average healing time for ligaments, tendons, muscles, bones, and nerves. And that time period is right around 90 days. And everybody knows it. If you get a cut that needs a bunch of stitches in a week or two, it's going to look nasty. But in 90 days, it's going to be pretty well healed. In a year, it's not going to be that much different than 90 days as far as its function and how it looks and how it's actually coming along. You sprain an ankle in a couple weeks, it's going to still hurt. But in 90 days, it's going to be pretty good. You rip up an ACL, in 90 days you'll be walking around, but it's going to take a year. In fact, many things do take a year. But we have to have an initial care plan that makes sense biologically, physiologically, anatomically, and of course to the patient. And the truth always makes sense when you know and tell people the truth. So an initial recommendation, if you say something around 90 days, this makes sense to people because they know, because they've had stuff get dinged up, and they know instinctively without having to have it explained to them, okay, that stuff roughly gets better in about 90 days if you get after it with care. You see an x-ray and you see a little DJD. What does that mean? In fact, shame on me. There's no such thing as a little DJD. That's degenerative joint disease. That is a process that the spine is rotting. It is decaying like a decaying tooth. In fact, when you see people with a horrible amount of dental work, their spine and vertebrae are no different than their teeth. It's simply bone. Some people have bones that deteriorate faster than other people's bones. Who can explain it? So when we see anything on an x-ray, it shows movement. It shows the rate at which the spine is deteriorating. And we cannot let a person's spine deteriorate faster than they are aging. The chiropractor cannot let the spine be the thing that causes the person's demise. Can't let him get into a cane, can't let him need a walker, can't let him end up in a wheelchair. Because then the body failed before the mind, you might say. Okay, my job is to take care of you from now all the way until the end. So if we see anything on an x-ray, this is a huge deal. Again, we have our smart initial recommendation, but we have to make sure they understand what that means. That's why the degenerative spine models are so important. We must let people touch them and feel what those spurry edges feel like. So back to some truth here, okay? Chiropractic is a phenomenon. The only problem in chiropractic are chiropractors that don't analyze and give people good, solid, honest, physiological, biological, and anatomical recommendations for their initial care plans, okay? Or chiropractors that make too big of care plans, that screws people up equally and makes them not want to continue and not tell their friends to go to the chiropractor. It's unbelievable. It has to be the right initial recommendation, and it's very, very simple. In fact, even in Minnesota, the state of Minnesota for work comp gives people 12 weeks of care, for crying out loud. Even the state of Minnesota government knows what an initial recommendation should be. And then here's the chiropractor. Well, let's work on it for a couple weeks. Let's try 12 visits. Like 12 visits won't fix anything. Gracious. What a lie. No more lying to people. They can tell when you're lying. And is that what you would want? Do you want to go to the doctor and have them lie to you because they're afraid that they might hurt your feelings? Or do you want truth? I want people to analyze and do a great exam and tell me the truth of what's ideal now and what will be ideal for me in the future. Okay? Now we know what the truth is here. It is very simple. Somehow in the profession, it's like a big mystery, but it's really not that hard. Okay? Once you have it explained to you. All right, it's in all of our scripting. All the Winner's Edge scripting has all the truth built in, okay? And it will do the work for you. The truth resonates with people. It makes people gravitate to you. People are dying for truth because they're being lied to every second of the day through everything they see on their cell phone and on the computer screen. So truth is like, it is like the most ripe, beautiful pile of strawberries ever for people. So we must elevate to chiropractic, not dumb it down and water it down for everybody or water it down for ourselves because we're afraid to tell people the truth. Think of how sickening that is. It's sickening. Okay? No more lying to people. No more not having a plan. No more not knowing exactly what you want to recommend for them in the future. You and I, are in a continuous state of chiropractic need. It is simply a matter of how much. So what we have to sell to the public, remember now, you run a chiropractic store and you sell chiropractic. No different than if I sold cars. You're selling a service. You're selling an initial care plan and you're selling wellness plans. That's what the high-performance chiropractor sells because it's the truth. See, anytime you take something in for work, you get a work order. I need this for my truck. Okay, we'll do this and we'll do that and da-da-da-da-da. Here, sign it and give us your keys. That is the work order. And believe me, they're going to tell you the truth. You need this and it needs that and you really should do this and you should really do that. They're not going to sit there and say, well, I'm afraid to tell Tory what his truck needs out of fear that he may not like me and may not want to come back. Do you see how sickening? That would never happen. But that happens every single day in about 40,000 chiropractor offices around the world. Why? Why is that? We got the coolest profession ever, the natural organic phenomenon, and a bunch of people in it that are afraid to tell people what's going on, either because they don't know or they're too weak. Hopefully that's not you. I'm being pretty assertive here. Not a big deal. There's only like millions of people's futures at stake. It's not a big deal. So we must care enough about people, care enough about our community to know exactly what it is that we sell, why we sell it, have it priced perfectly for our area based on the median income, the median home price, and all the other factors that we engage here, so that all of your fees in the computer are perfect. Therefore, they're used to make all of your initial plans perfect. Therefore, that sets you up to have all of your wellness plans mathematically perfect. And like I say, there's over 100 numbers here that we already have them all figured out and perfect and ready to go for our people because I'm the only one crazy enough to sit down and figure it all out so it makes sense. And I mean makes sense to the point where if you're in a courtroom getting grilled by a team of rabid lawyers, you'd be able to explain it all and they would go, wow, I guess we can't find anything wrong with that. If your recommendations and your fees and your care plans and your wellness plans were all put into a courtroom and you were grilled by a bunch of attorneys, how would you look? But again, we do it for the health of the people that want to come in and see us. Humans are humans. A human spine is a human spine is a human spine. Okay, and it needs what it needs as the baseline requirement for care. We had a case the other day, Tory, I had a person come in and they say they went through a corrective care program and that they should just do wellness now. How long ago was that? Well, they hadn't been to the chiropractor for a couple years. Well, their spine is right back to zero then, isn't it? Once again, the corrective term screws everybody up. Because the patient thinks something was corrected. No, it benefited you. Chiropractic benefits you while you're going, and as soon as you quit going, it tails off quickly. Just like working out, just like paddling a kayak, just like when you're running. As soon as you stop running, okay, you stop moving at that rate of speed. So this chiropractor had to sit there and explain to this person that they didn't correct anything and that their spine is right back to where it was and they need a good, solid, accurate initial plan of visits to get up to speed and then a plan to keep it there as best that they can over their upcoming years. So the best results don't really cost anything. It simply costs you learning the right scripts, learning the right procedures, learning the right wording, learning what to say that makes sense for your initial plans, mathematically for all wellness plans, so you have the perfect thing to take care of every person that comes in. All the personal injury people that come in, you have a perfect plan for. All the work injury people, all the Medicare people, all the cash people, all people that might have some insurance, all kids, all athletic people. You are ready to go for every person who comes in. A plan that will work for them one way or another for them to enjoy and benefit from chiropractic care forever. Now, so the deal is this. Here at Winner's Edge, We have the scripting, the exact initial plans, the exact wellness plans, the exact wording, okay, exactly what to sell, how to sell it, why you're selling it, so you can be accurate, so you can show that you care, and show that you can get the best results possible on the greatest number of people possible. Closing point. We're here to serve. We serve with chiropractic care. This requires that we explain it to people and we offer them a plan. We must have a very smart plan. And we must have a way for them to enjoy chiropractic care forever. And when you have those things all figured out and in place, and you're looking sharp and you're excited, then there are no limits to what you can achieve and how many people you can reach in your chiropractic office. Tory out!